Hi everyone, and welcome back to Vauxhall Junction of the Class 47 Peter YouTube channel. And today's video we're going to be concentrating on the walls and the fencing on the layout, as well as adding some other bits of detail as well. So to start the video off, I'm going to turn my attention to this area here. The walls that you see at the back there, just by the station at platform 4, those walls are going to be ripped out and replaced with some better looking ones. Those walls are just made of card, glued together and then painted, and to be honest they do look a bit crude. So they're going to be ripped out and I'm going to have some better ones put there instead. So the walls I'm going to be using for that area are these here. This is a kit which I bought from eBay, made by this manufacturer, which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce. And I think that these walls on that area by the station will look much better, I think. So the walls have been stripped out. These will be thrown away in the bin because there's no further use for these now. Some of the paving slabs have come out whilst peeling the walls off, but that's fine because I think, to be honest, I'm going to have to remove all the paving slabs anyway before I even set about adding the new walls in place. I have removed a couple of the vehicles off the road just over there out the way as well. Right, so it's been about a week or so now since I last did an update. In the end I ended up buying a total of 3 packs of these walls, because I actually did add more of them on than I was going to originally. But as you can see, these walls now, they've totally transformed this area of the layout, and they look much better as well. I will have to do some touching up there with the paint, as you can see, and there as well, which I'll do a bit later. Originally the walls were just going to be up to here, but as you can see I extended the wall to run all along here. I've also added them by the car park just there, as you can see. There will be a fence added at the back of that platform, by the way. And also I've added the walls down all along here, going around the turntable, which I think that does look really good. The cars are going to be going back in the car park, so I had to remove them out of the way while I was gluing the walls in place. But on the whole I am rather pleased with this area now, and like I say, it looks much better than what it did before. There is one other thing I do want to show you, which is this. Foxhill Junction now has its own name plaque, which this is a Scale Model Scenery BR Modern Image custom name plaque, as I say, which this is a kit. It's been put together, which I did this the day before, prior to doing this part of the video. The white background and this part here, where the BR logo is, they were spray painted using Halford's red and white spray paint. And the letters, they were hand painted using Revell black paint. And then the name plaque has been held on using really strong Velcro, which means that I can remove it if I want to, should needs be, when they arise. But I'm really rather happy with that, so I just thought I'd show you that in this video. Next my attention is going to turn to these walls, running all along just here, as you can see, in that area. Running all along here, by the petrol station, running along the sidings, running down up to there, and carrying on along that road up to the signal box. These walls are next to be replaced, but I'm going to do that off camera because I don't want to show too many montages in this video. Right, so all the walls from this area have been ripped out. So we are now ready to add in the new walls that are going to be going here. And the new walls I'm going to be adding are these, which are these flexible Cotswold stone walling, which are made from Osborne models. They are expensive for what they are, but they're flexible, so you can bend them into whatever shape you want. You can also cut them to size. But also the printing on them. You know, just look at the printing detail on them, that is quite fantastic. So these will look really nice on that area over here. So yeah, they are expensive, but you know, they do look nice. So the stone walls have now been glued into place, and I must say that these look far better than the walls that were there previously. So that's another area that has been greatly improved. I mean, it's things like this that, you know, just look at all the difference adding things like this makes to a layout. And this area now does look actually a lot more detailed now that these walls are there in place. I've also added a grass tuft there, as you can see, which is one of these, a Pico Scene static grass 6mm self-adhesive wild meadow grass tuft. You just peel them off and stick them where you like. I've added that one just there, and that does look really good there. And also I have touched up those little areas there. The paint is still drying though, of course, as you can see. So those areas are now finished, and well happy with those, how they've come out. So another area that I've just done is this little area here. I have now completed the security fencing at the back there, which is made by Junction models. You've seen this area in the past, where before it only went up to here, the security fencing, because I didn't have enough to do this full area. So recently I went out and bought a pack from Hobby Rail in Sutton Coldfield, and so I've used some of that to finish this off, and that does look now much better now that it is completed. And these are quite fun to put together. Threading the barbed wire through the little holes in the posts, that can be quite fiddly and a bit of a pain to do sometimes, but when it's done the effect is stunning. As you can see, it's not all straight, some of it is bent up in places, which is as it looks in real life, because it not only adds realism but it adds that bit more definition and depth to it. And I've also used some of the Junction models security fencing to finish that area off here by that factory. Again, the last time I had a pack of that I didn't have enough to finish that area off, but it's now finished thanks to that pack I bought quite recently, and that looks much better now that it's finished. So with the sidings that are meant to be overgrown, which is the effect that I've gone for, which I've done, oh crikey, I did this quite some time back. What I've just gone and done is I've added some grass tufts. There were already some added in the first place, but not many, so I've added a lot more of them now. And again, these are the Pico ones. You just peel off and stick where you like. I'm not going to point you out to them everywhere where I've added them, but you can see, especially if I get up right up close to them, where they've been added. I haven't just stuck them in the middle though, I've even stuck them in between the tracks and by them, which does give a really good effect. But once they've been added, you know, they really do look superb. It's just moving that Class 07 out of the way. But yeah, overall I'm really pleased with this scene now. So the grass tufts, once they've added, they really do make the yard look overgrown. They really do give them that look. So on this part of the layout I have been adding some of these Woodland Scenics Ready Rocks rock face packs. I have one pack of them just here. This is C1138 rock face. You get 4 of them in this box. I've used all 4 of them, although that one was actually cut to size. You can see the other part of it there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that bit yet. I've also added some Jarvis foliage in some places, as you can see, and that's actually made the area on the sides look really detailed. I wasn't originally going to put the rock faces on this area, I'll be honest. I was going to use them on another area, but they were too big. So I went and used them on this area, which I quite like them on this area, because before there was just no detail there at all, just bits of cardboard painted green. So adding those there really has largely improved that area. If you're wondering where I bought these rock faces from, I actually went down the other week to Ian Allen in Birmingham. The shop was closing, well, since by the time this video has gone out, it will be closed. And everything was there for sale for half price. I bought these rock faces and 2 Bachmann 009 open bogie wagons for £30, and I think that is a tremendous bargain, because if I'd have paid the original prices for them, they'd have cost a lot more than 30 quid. So yeah, that was a fantastic bargain. And so those rock faces, they do look absolutely stunning alongside there. I've added some of the Bachmann Scenecraft shopping figures on the layout. Here we have a bloke pushing a pram, and here we've got a grandmother with a little girl walking out of the greengrocer's there. Then over here we've got this couple walking out of a model shop. It just had to be done somewhere on the layout. And then over here we've got this woman walking out of the chemist's. So they are quite detailed figurines, and I do recommend the Bachmann Scenecraft figures. So they're quite a nice addition to have on the layout. So the back of this area, just here, by the engine shed on the narrow gauge railway, I've added this fencing, as you can see. And the fencing is scale model scenery 4-foot post and wire fencing, which is a kit. It was quite fun to do, although it was quite painstaking and very slow work to do. It took me a few days to complete this, to get it looking as you're seeing now. But it was worth doing in the end. I have added a little bit of foliage at the corner there to hide that gap. And especially when you get real down close where the static grass is, where you can see it sticking up, to admire the fencing, it does look quite stunning. But obviously, of course, the camera can't get any lower than this, whereas I can, but you get the idea. And so that area is now pretty much complete with the fencing in the back. This area on the layout now has some Bachmann Scenecraft portable offices. Now, I'm sure you're probably thinking, what happened to the building that was already here? Because in a layout update video I did this year, I had a building there that was chopped in half, which was meant to be a car factory. But after filming that video, the building began falling apart and it wasn't really in the best condition, so I got rid of it, and I had a change of idea for this area. So I've added these Bachmann Scenecraft portable offices, and I do really like these. They do look fantastic. This area isn't done yet. I have other bits of detail to be adding to this area. So along the back of the platform, on platform 4, I've added some fencing, as you can see, which runs just above the brick walls there, along the sides where the platform is. And the fencing, of course, is there for protection for the people, basically. Which this is the sort of fencing that you do see on most stations, and I'm really happy with that. If you're wondering what fencing I've used, the fencing I've used is scale model scenery wooden fencing. I have got a couple of pieces there which are spares, which I might find a use for in the future. I haven't painted the fence panels. I've left them as they are to give them that natural wood effect. I'm sure you're probably thinking, why haven't I painted them? Well, I was originally going to paint them, but then when I went to Walsall Station, the fence panels there are not painted, which you can see in these photos here. It's on platform 1, just where the car park is. The fence panels are not painted, and they've been left as they are basically. And so I decided to not paint these fence panels. I decided to leave them as they are, which I got the idea from that. And they do look really nice, even when they're not painted. I've also moved a few of these figures around. As you can see, I've added a guy just there, by this little waiting room. I've added these two people there, by the, I suppose I could call them the ticket machines there. I've added a couple of guys there. And so this area looks really nice now, and I'm really quite happy with that, especially with the amount of detail that's gone into that area. So I thought I'd give you a view from the front of the wooden fencing on the platform there, and as I've already said, I'm really pleased with that. I mean, just look at that. I mean, I think that looks fantastic. So I think that'll do for this video, because I don't want it to be too long. So all I'll do is that this video shall be split in 2 parts. So in part 2 we shall pick up where we left off from. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you find it of some interest. I know it's been something a bit different. It's nice when I'm doing work on the layout like this, it's nice to be able to do videos of it. So join me for part 2. But until then, hit the like button. Feel free to leave a comment if you wish. Subscribe to the channel, check out all my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.